And welcome to the 19th minute. Lots of artillery, not much else. You can see the last of our mortars coming down on that hedgerow. Some pretty good hits in there. And we have a few more very large shells coming in from the American, there we go, American ships. The tanks shuffle off a little bit, I guess, to get better shots on the strong point here, because they start shelling it pretty soon. Overall, not much. I kept most of the men over here in position because I wasn't sure when the shells would stop. But I think that was the last barrage, so we should be good to move them in the next turn. Okay, so a little bit of a closer perspective. As you can see, I shuffled the Marder slightly to see if I could get a better view from up here, but not much to be done. A lot of smoke, a lot of everything from all the artillery, so not much to be done really. Not a lot. There's still a lot of men on that row, but I think the artillery strike is going to be too late because our resistance is basically gone and they'll push up to the next one. I think that's mortars 60mm, and the tanks do occasionally. And you can see another 60mm mortar coming in right there. Okay, just looking at the other flank. Basically, the infantry are just sporadically shooting as they spot people. There's a big group up here, some movement in the bushes here, a couple of men out in the open, there were a couple there, but most of it looks like they're set up along this. And I'll just turn off the sound because it's very loud. Yeah, not a lot. Not much fire. There's some coming back in. I can tell that by looking at how pinned the troops are in between the turns. But it's hard to tell how much because we can't see a lot of it. And that was a smoke shell, so just a very rogue American smoke mission. There's possibly a bar rifle over there. We may have actually killed someone there. I'll have a quick look after the turn. Looks like we got someone. So it was these guys in the hedgerow. Yeah, it's a man with a bar. Oh yeah, we got him. Excellent. Didn't see this in the first pass through. Well done. Okay, and minute 20. Let's go. As you can see, the tanks, having moved down a bit, start lobbing quite a lot of 75mm at the bunkers here. Still shooting, and yeah, these guys in the middle start to get it as well. They break, but they're only shaking them. And oh yeah, this group, yeah, nah, tree burst and tank shell kills everyone except a single man. So great. Otherwise, fire goes back and forth. And third platoon, whichever platoon of 6th Company it was over here. falls back into the trenches. And we take a hit on the bunker and lose one of the men. It was a tank shell. Alright, let's have a closer look. Some slight movement around here. I shuffle things up slightly because there's no longer any danger of big shells coming down and killing everyone. The Marder, again, not spotted anything. These men up here spotted a tank, so I was like, right, let's put him up by him. He'll have a good chance. But, again, nothing. Yeah, these poor guys eat it. You can see that a lot of high explosive shells just been wasted. And those are mortars. Oh, another one. Just being wasted on this tree line. It's wonderful to see. Yeah, ouch. This bunker's getting it, so I decide to disembark them and hide them in the trench behind it, where they can recrew once it's a bit less unhealthy for them. The tanks are all buttoned up as well, so there's nothing we can do about them. Alright, let's have a look at the other side. Okay, here's the garrison company, and they basically sporadically trade fire back and forth at long range like they have for a while. Not an enormous amount of action, but the Americans do start to settle up on this tree line and just really bounce a lot of bullets off this house. No effect really, but one of the machine guns can see down here, the other one's not in a very good position, but it should be, but I think it's just combat mission being weird. Yeah, so they're spotting all these guys. There's even more coming up this central section. The AT gun is the one that's seeing those guys, and the 8th company headquarters. And as you can see, they're setting up machine guns. They're likely trying to gain fire superiority across this whole section. There's a slight rise here, so these guys can't directly see each other, so it's like across. Yeah, fairly sporadic, except for this house, which got a full squad in it. And it's just really going to town on these guys, you can see. We will take a slightly closer look at it. There's a man just lying in the open as well for some strange reason. And it looks like several guys on this. Then hunting up the middle section. Just a machine gunner, a few riflemen. Americans' superior rifles are doing a good job, but you know, they can't match the MG34. We may have got someone there actually. I'm gonna skip back. Oh no, he just decided to duck. But yeah, we start seeing, I think, we go back a little bit. Was that machine gun? Oh no, it's coming across, never mind. Yeah, there's quite a lot of shooting going on at this house, but luckily it's fairly sturdy and they're not doing a lot. Overall, not the most exciting. Without tanks, I don't really see them being able to force this. Overall, we're in quite a good position here. As they get closer, they'll suffer. And yeah, you can see these guys spotted by the AT gun. It could lob shells into them. This one's at the mortar headquarters. You can also see them. But yeah, as you said, still on a tank mission, even though they're all the way over there. Right, final minute. Okay, and welcome to the 21st minute. Off we go. So as usual, this lot of Americans are taking quite a lot of fire, and the tanks continue to do that thing where they shoot up the line. Quite a lot of artillery action. Might be a proper bombardment. I just haven't been able to confirm the size of the shells. But yeah, if this line is really eating it, but there's no one left except this one really beleaguered squad who can't even take orders. It's worth noting. Americans have split their tanks into pairs, and there's some more men moving up here, presumably to replace this lot that got munched. Oh shit, I think that was a spotting round. I'll take a look at that soon. Right, let's have a look at that a bit closer. Okay, so this is the western flank. As you can see, I've sent a half squad to crew this bunker, as I said. And yep, there's two tanks over here, just doing their best to make life a misery. Some mortars coming down here. They look too big for 16mm, but yeah, as you can see, look at this. A lot of wasted high explosive. They only have about 40 something rounds each. Again, mortars, just this whole row is eating it. Not much effect though. And pretty much no one here can see anything past about like this point. It's kind of like so. Yeah, these guys are hiding and not crewing the bunker, although they've decided to not hide in the trench, which is kind of annoying. Overall, no complaints. We have the 3 Squad A team who have taken over that bunker. We have the Panzerstreck team from 1st Platoon 6th Company, both 1st Platoon 6th Company. And we have the slightly banged up 8th Company HQ, who still is the commander and 2 men. Hurrah! Okay, and the eastern flank, off we go. As you can see, some more fire starting to come out of this section. It looks like they may have set up machine gun, and these guys can't really see anything there, so I've shuffled them into this house and put the HQ down HQ up a floor. This lot does the heavy lifting, as you can see, dishing it out. And these guys finally get a beat on them and start to put some fire down. It's just quite a lot of men. I'll actually go back slightly and have a look there. Got 4 individual squads at least. That's a bazooka squad. That's the machine gun squad. I think these are just infantrymen. Yeah, no kills or anything on them yet, but possible. All the trees in the middle interfere with, as you can see, the shots keep hitting them. And that's it. That's I think a spotting round. Likely somewhere in the town. Most people in buildings should be alright. These guys are far enough out, and foxholes. Building foxholes. The only 2 worrisome ones are sections of 2 platoon. These guys here, basically. So we may want to think about hiding them in a house or something. I haven't seen any other spotting rounds, but yeah, that doesn't look like a shot from a platoon level mortar. I think it's a proper bombardment. Right, here's the 80 gun, as you can see. You can see these guys and these guys. This one, of course, can't see anything, which is a bit annoying, but we shall see. Here's pretty good view as well, and it's been taking a few rogue shots. So for this one, just for fun, if you look at the last 5 seconds of this, with the house doing its bit, find a good viewpoint. The house doing its house things, trading a bit of fire. And the machine gun is shooting away. But then the single bang. Single rifleman snipes what might be the American. I think he had a... Oh no, he had a Garand, so it wasn't the squad leader. But yeah, down he goes. Perfect, beautiful. Second confirmed rifleman kill of the game. I'm sure we got lots over here and probably some in here, but no confirmed on that. Alright, while I'm here, I will just make a quick note of the AT gun, which is Mediking. I've managed to get in there, so that's these guys are just picking up weapons because they only had pistols, and then they'll do the move thing because the AT gun is broken. Overall, first platoon 670 is here. This one, again, it was Mediking, but it seems to have finished that, so it can be ordered to fall back to the fort. I'll have a look in the fort. I'll show you the reverse slope because it's going to be important. Basically, you go down to ground level, can't see anything. Even right at this corner, it's pretty, like, we're just above it now, and you can sort of see a little bit, but that's only this very corner, which is the highest point of the fort. Otherwise, come over here. These guys can just see the tanks, but it's pretty iffy. And you'd think the Marder would be able to, because apparently you can, but you know, you can't. So I've just been sitting here and occasional shuffle. Got the HQ unit spotting as well, so hopefully that will help him. Really, I'm just hoping that they do something. This guy's here, still pretty easy to see, like, the slope's back, so when the Americans come through this bit and come up to this hedge, they're going to have a very unpleasant surprise. I will just do a few target area orders to give an example. Even these guys, look, so you can see the blue line runs out, they can get to about here. And these guys can see about here. And again, like, these are, the rise of the hill is about somewhere along this line, so anyone behind that is very difficult for the Americans to see. These guys are slightly iffy, but mostly okay. This machine gunner is kind of exposed here, but I'm not sure if they can see him. They haven't taken any shots. It's a bit weird. The Marder, this guy can see the tanks perfectly fine. The Marder a few meters back, but you know, you'd think a bit higher off the ground. Can't. It's infuriating. I've been staring at each other for a while. Overall, yeah, we've got a third platoon in the woods, ready to support or do whatever it needs. First platoon in the fort mostly, and second platoon is kind of manning these forward positions, apart from one squad which is so chewed up it has nothing. Marder is back here. Heavy machine gunners have fixed up their machine gun and are now refusing to see anything. I don't really understand why. They had perfectly good vision before. I think I might have to just try rejiggering them a bit. These guys are good though, they can shoot a reasonable amount of places. Can't quite see over here though. And actually, looking down here, you can see, if you go down to ground level, there's kind of a rise, so it's quite difficult to see a lot of where the Americans are, because they can't quite do it. But it does mean this sort of bumpy ground here does mean the Americans would have to come pretty much up right to this hedgerow. There's wire there as well to get shots on them, which is good and bad, and will be an absolute bloody mess if they do, for both sides I expect, but we do have foxholes and we will be on the defensive, so that's good. Oh, the artillery mission is called in for here. Nice and extremely danger close. I think I'm going to have to shuffle that out because I got a bit enthusiastic. And the other one is along here. There was very limited line of sight, I assume because of the trees. So I had to move them along and then call it on this section here. It'll scatter around a bunch, so it should get whoever's there. Although, because it's not due for, let's see, 6 minutes, in all likelihood they'll have moved up to here. So I would say if we can, we should adjust it to there. Yeah, overall the tanks are all buttoned up as well. I thought I'd better mention. No commanders to splatter, unfortunately, but it does mean they can't spot very well. Right, that's about it. I will try and put a bunch of screenshots up for everyone. So, good night.